Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is our month anniversary of the pod.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday to you. Such
birthday.
a good singer.
How are we? Welcome back to another episode. I'm so excited to be here.
Same. So I'm so excited to get the rundown on what your week has been because I've literally done nothing. So I've nothing to add this week. I've no exciting stories. I've done nothing. I've done nothing exciting. I need you to take it away with the lips.
I got my lips done. So I went to Dublin.
Yeah.
Got my lips done.
Mm-hmm.
I already said in the podcast I'd got my lips done in 2020.
Yeah. Not a good time.
Not a good time to be alive. But I found a person that I wanted to give a try.
Mm-hmm. You got recommended.
I got recommended.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people recommended.
Yeah.
So I went to Dublin. I got the lips done.
Mm-hmm.
They're still bruised and swollen, but I feel like I've covered it up
They are
well.
for the first week. Yeah, you can't really see that they're bruised at all. I feel like for the first week they're always so bruised and just it's like they're black and blue in certain parts.
It's mad
of it.
And
I've been putting concealer on my lips and everything. I'm like, please fix this.
I went into the woman and she's Eastern European and I live for the honesty.
Yeah.
And I went in and she looks at me and she's like, your lips are inverted, they're M-shaped and they're asymmetrical. I was like,
thank you so much.
thank you. But it's so funny.
I love that honesty though.
Oh, the honesty, I so appreciate. And she was like, I love a challenge. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I love a challenge.
I love a challenge. I was just sitting there because I thought with the way she was acting, I thought she was going to be sorry, I can't.
Do your lips.
I can't, sorry, please go home.
I flew to Dublin for my lips to be
and
filled. Fill my lips, please.
I was so stressed.
Were you?
I swear.
Talk me through the day. What were you excited that morning?
Okay,
what happened?
So I flew up to Dublin and it all, the story all ties together at the end of why I was so stressed. But I went to Dublin, flew to Dublin, had my Botox checkup, so was able to pull that in earlier.
Amazing.
Arrived at the hotel, got early check-in, everything was going so smooth. And then, of course, my phone was on 20% because I was on it all morning.
Yeah, especially when you're flying up.
Yeah.
I feel like you need it. You know.
At the flight to Dublin, you can use your phone in the plane. I don't know if you're supposed to, but you can connect
to do that.
Maybe.
I think it's
allegedly. I don't know. Someone told me.
The plane flies so low because it's in internal, in terms of it's inside Ireland, they fly lower. But I don't think it's just.
Well, I was using it for podcasts and stuff. It's not
yeah,
I was
of course.
texting.
No, of course, yeah.
Do you know?
Just ratting on herself here now, but it's so funny. I do turn my 3G on to see when we're getting close to landing.
Yeah, I do.
To see
phone
how close
addiction is kind of the maps. I love going into my
maps.
maps.
I click into the maps. I'm where in the sky am I now?
Yeah, where am I? And then you're
Liverpool.
Literally. So I got to the. Oh my God! Sorry, I have period brain.
That was literally me 2 weeks ago. So I feel you.
I was I'm ovulating. You're I have my period, but I got to the hotel, got early check-in, unpacking. I was I'm going to top up my makeup. The hotel room was, now it was very corporate-y, it was very grey. And I was in the corporate area of Dublin and I was just walking around being this is so far from my reality.
Yeah.
I was looking at all the corporate people. They were going for lunch.
Yeah.
They had all the food trucks and music. I was I've never lived this life. This is, it was just so interesting to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, the room was lovely. It was big. It was spacious. The bathroom was lovely, whatever.
Yeah.
So I go to plug in my phone. I'm I'm going to get ready for 30 minutes because I have time now because I got early check-in. Plug in my phone. No phone lead. No charger.
You're lying.
No.
You left it at home.
I left it at home. No charger. So
oh my God.
I was okay, it's fine. I'm going to get a power bank when I'm in the city. Joe, you can get you can ask the places oh, can you give me a charge one? They'll
Can you?
Yeah, I've done it before. I did it in Thailand.
Okay.
I was alone.
That's actually really good to know. I'd never know that.
Yeah, I was alone in Thailand.
Risky. That is quite risky.
I went with all the girls, but I had lost my passport, so I had to go to the embassy.
What were you doing? What were you actually doing to have lost all of these things? Were you robbed? Why did you lose everything? Why did you lose that much?
When I was in Thailand with the girls, my first time ever in Thailand, we you have to travel from island to island and you're hungover.
Yeah.
And I am careless.
Well, it appears so.
So I lost my passport traveling from. So on the left side you have Phuket, Phi Phi, Krabi, those islands, and then on the right side you have Koh Samui, Koh Tao, Koh Phangan. but you've to like go across on this bus.
And you left everything on the bus.
No. So I don't know where I left it, but I think it fell out of my bag on the way. But basically, we were going from PP to, like, you have to go on this like big long bus. Now, if I was doing it again, I would fly. But you know, when you're young and you're trying to save all your like €50 because you think it's going to change your life.
Yeah.
So we'd do this like 8-hour bus, I think it was. I could be wrong, don't quote me. Yeah. Across the country of Thailand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It felt like 8 hours anyway.
Yeah. But there was a man who sat next to me he had a can of beer in his hand, and I fell asleep and he fell asleep, and the can of beer fell over me. So that was Gorgina. So I smelled like beer. Got to Koh Samui, I think it was. Mm-hmm. No passport. No passport.
How do you even get out of the country? That's what I
want
to know.
Luckily I'm kind of calm. Like, I think I was the best person for it to happen to out of all the people. And also, I think my parents are quite calm. Mm-hmm. So, no passport. I was freaking out, right? So I had no passport, so I was stressed. Oh yeah, because you have to do a ferry. It's like a boat, a bus, a boat to get over.
Yeah, to get over. Yeah.
So two of the girls were like extremely seasick still.
Oh,
and it was the other girl. It was Una's birthday.
Oh my god.
And she's a Leo. And like, I'd be the same if it was my birthday. Yeah. So the girls had food poisoning.
Oh my god.
I had no passport. And it was her birthday.
And everyone's having a shit show
on
on her birthday.
And we always laugh about this. So I'm like freaking out. I haven't told my parents. And the girls are like, if you tell your parents, like everything will just be calm. Yeah. I was like ringing the boat company, the bus company, like in Thailand, like trying to ring these companies.
Trying
like,
to talk English.
Please have my passport. As if
passport.
someone didn't obviously pick it up and like someone's going around with my passport. It's not out of date yet.
Yeah.
There's another Rebecca Short in the world. It's not me. So we're sitting, I'll never forget, we're sitting at this table for her birthday, and like the girls can't order drinks because they're like, Mackenzie was vomiting at the end of the table.
Oh my god, all the food poisoning, like all of them were just so sick.
Like,
and then
they were all ordering water. I ordered like a smoothie and a pineapple just to like
bring yourself
and
around.
Una ordered wine, and I still have the bill. I think it's on my laptop or something, like screenshot. So and we're like walking back to the hotel room. The music is blaring. Like, we're in Thailand. We just got to the Arc Bar, like hotel. Like, it's class.
That's so funny.
Music blaring, and we just, it was so depressing. So anyway, the holiday went on. I lost my passport. There was nothing I could do. I had to report it to the police, and then basically they said, when you go to Bangkok, because we were actually flying home out of Bangkok. Like, we were like middle of our holiday. Like, we still had 2 weeks to go.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you don't need your passport, like, traveling around.
Yeah.
So they were like, you go to Bangkok when you arrive there, and then you pay like stupid, it wasn't that expensive, but stupid amount of money. Yeah. So that leads me to being in Bangkok alone, because I had also met a boy when I was in Thailand, a Frenchman.
Yeah.
I think I told you about him before.
You did tell me about him.
I didn't tell the podcast though. So I met this Frenchman on the first in PP.
Mm-hmm. And your things just worked out where you were all going to the same places.
Like every island I went to, I was like, oh, there's the French guy.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of cute. Like, we had this like whole holiday romance, but he was also ending in Bangkok.
Yeah. And you were like, I lost my passport.
And he had like an amazing hotel room, and so I like stupidly got like, so I had to go to the embassy. One of the girls went with me, but all the girls were like, we want to go shopping. Like, we don't want to go
to the embassy
with you. And I was like, I get it.
Fair. So fair.
But then one of the other girls was like poisoning me with like, oh, like they should have came. Joke, like because she came, she saw herself as like the angel.
Yeah.
And like, not in a bad way, like she was an angel for coming with me. So then I was kind of pissed off because naturally, like, I didn't want to be sweating around Bangkok. And also I was like, I just want to go to your man in the hotel room.
Priorities up here. Missing passport to get out of the country down here. French man in a nice hotel room up here.
The hotel room was amazing. So anyway, I find myself in this massive shopping centre. All the girls are somewhere, but I don't know where they are. So I go up to the stand to buy a power bank.
Yeah.
And like the Thai man like opens every single power bank to make sure he gives me one with the best charge.
That is so good.
So now going forward, every time I've got a power bank,
you just go in and you ask for a charged one.
I'm like, oh, like damsel in distress.
Yeah,
my
phone is dying.
My phone is dying.
I'm actually going to use that. That's so good to know.
Please, can you? So this brings me to Dublin.
Yeah.
Searching around loop. I love a good loop. So this brings me to Dublin. But Dublin is very different. Like the guys who are selling you things in Dublin and the guys who are selling you things in Thailand, completely different people.
Yeah.
So I go to iConnect in Henry Street.
Okay.
And do you know what? I'm putting them on blast. I go to
I'm
iConnect.
calling you out, iConnect.
So I go to iConnect first because I'm like, right, first priority is the phone so I can charge it. So I go in and I'm like, oh, I need a power bank and I need a lead, and the guy's selling it to me, whatever. And then the guy at the top's like, why don't you just get a MagSafe? Do you like this thing? The
it
wireless.
charges. Yeah.
He was like, is your phone MagSafe? I was like, I don't fucking know. And he was like testing it. He's like, it's not. He was like, if you get this, he was like, they come with charge and they'll like give your phone a full battery.
Yeah.
He was like, I just used that at a festival, like unreal. Like he was salesmanning it up. So because the power bank and the lead was coming to €108.
And that's with it charged.
This was the power bank and the lead, not the MagSafe.
Oh my god.
So 108. So I was like, do you know what? I'll get the MagSafe. The MagSafe was 74.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you need the lead as well. I didn't need the lead. The lead was €39.
So you ended up paying 100 anyway.
So it was €74, right? And I was like, does it have charge? He was like, yeah, I can connect it to your phone. I'll do it for you. Like, I was like, oh, I don't know how to do it. Like, damsel in distress.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll do it for you. So he's like plugging in and he was kind of fiddling around with it. And I was like, oh, it's a broken one. Yeah. So then I was like, oh, is it charged? She was like, yeah, it's charged. Plugged it in anyway. Put it on my phone. And he was like, yeah, it's charging. Gave it to me. I walked out the door.
What's charging?
30 seconds later.
What's in charging?
The MagSafe was dead.
Oh my god.
But I was like up crossing the bridge.
And you weren't going to go back.
And I wasn't going to go back. So your man sold me a dead MagSafe. So now I have a dead MagSafe, an iPhone lead, but I have no block. Like I have no block to plug.
To charge the MagSafe.
So when I go into South William, I can't like plug my phone into a wall because I've no.
Oh my god!
I've no plug.
Lead.
I have a lead. I have a MagSafe. I have a MagSafe charger
no
lead.
plug to
I have an iPhone charger. I've no.
Oh, so I
asked the girl in the Botox. I'm so stressed. I'm sweating.
Please
all I want
phone charger.
is my acai. So she plugs it in. I go about, get my checkup, whatever, come back down, the phone wasn't charging the whole time.
Oh my god, Rebecca, I would die.
So then I go into Brown Thomas, because I'm like, where can I go? Where can I go? What can I do? I go into Brown Thomas, I go to the third floor, I'm charging my phone in the thing, I'm charging the MagSafe in the other thing. I'm like, I need to go I need to eat something. And I could have just went and got a protein bar.
Is there a place in Brown Thomas where you can charge your phone?
Well, upstairs the tech area. So again, I was just like,
I didn't know that now.
Yeah.
Damsel in distress.
Yeah.
This guy oversold me on something.
Oh, I went in to buy another MagSafe. I was like, do you have one that has full battery? Like, I didn't have time to stand in Brown Thomas and charge my phone. But anyway, I did.
I did it anyway.
Went to get the acai, charged my phone. What did I do then? Went back to Brown Thomas to pick up the charged MagSafe.
Yeah.
So then I get a taxi.
Yeah.
My appointment's after 3:30. It's 3:00 at this point. It says I'm going to get there at 24. I was like, do you know what? 10 minutes late is fine. They're probably running behind. Next thing, I put the MagSafe on my phone in the taxi, and it makes my phone so hot. It's so glitchy.
Really?
It's like...
I don't think they're good for the phone at all.
No, I don't think they're good for the phone either. So anyway, that was up to when I got my lip filler. I can't believe we've literally spent 15 minutes.
No, but keep going down.
So I was so stressed in the back of the taxi.
Yeah.
Like stress 99. The traffic in Dublin was insane. I was like, this is supposed to be my self-care trip.
Dublin traffic is crazy. Like, I used to work in Dublin, but I used to have to drive for my job, and like it is it's harder actually to get around Dublin than to come into Dublin. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Like if you're from one side of Dublin and you're trying to get to the other side, it's actually so much harder than if you were coming from outside of Dublin trying to get into one side.
It is. I was sitting in the taxi. I was so stressed. I was like texting. I text your one. She didn't respond to me. Then I rang. They didn't answer. So I was like, do you know what? That means they're busy if they're not ringing me.
Yeah.
I swear I was about a half an hour late.
And they were grand.
And they were grand. They were so behind. But I didn't know that. So I was so stressed.
You're panicking.
I'd 15%. I'd no cards. Like all my cards are on my
your
phone.
Yeah. Oh my god, how would you have paid? Yeah.
They had I'd no plugs.
Crazy.
But we got there. We got the acai. I did
and
get
the
the acai.
lips are looking amazing.
And the lips are looking amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is supposed to be... So then after I went for dinner with the girls, we went to actually Elephant and Castle in the Mason. Like
so nice. Yeah.
Because I was near the Mason because the girls were texting me and they were like, we know you're on a solo trip, but like, do you want to go for a dinner? And I was like,
so
you know
cute.
what? A dinner sounds exactly like
So
what
good.
I need right now.
What did you get?
We kind of shared all like starter bits.
Little bits, yeah.
We
They
did
have
the
lovely little
guac and the
tapas
dip.
kind of things.
We did like a nachos chickeny thing.
Yeah.
Chicken wings.
Did you have the hummus and the pita bread with the
girls
thing?
wanted that.
That I got that, and it was like really peppery, but it was actually
Yeah.
quite nice.
No, I think they were out of it actually.
And do you have a cocktail in there? The cocktails are nice.
I couldn't drink.
Oh yeah.
I was drinking pineapple juice. I was
Oh
downing.
my god.
Downing.
So you're better than me. When I got my lips filled, like I didn't the first night, but after that I'm like, oh yeah, grand, I'll drink, even though you're not.
Oh, I think it's only 24 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only 24 hours.
Yeah.
But like glass of wine in the evening after.
I did
That's exactly
that.
what I need. Like I need a glass of wine to take the pain away. Like
I did after my Botox recently.
Yeah.
I never do usually. Usually I'm very
by the by, like don't do this,
by the
don't
book.
do that.
But
Yeah.
I did after getting my Botox. And it didn't affect me, I don't
No,
think.
it didn't.
I had a great time. So yeah, went
That's
for dinner
so good
and
that you
then
got
was
that
chilled.
checkup done as well while you were up there, like that you could fit those two things in.
Yeah, that's what and she like but I wish I had my phone at the time, but I obviously didn't because I thought it was charging. But yeah, I was really happy. And then after dinner, and then I was calm, and then the next day I woke up with my period.
And that's why
2 weeks early.
I know. I said to her, I feel like it was a cycle syncing because I had mine last week.
A whole 2 weeks.
I know. I actually kind of feel guilty that you got it though, because I swear to God, I was like, you're syncing with me. That's what's happening. Like,
I'm not joking,
Oh.
Niamh. I woke up the next morning because I was like, okay, now is when I'm in Dublin. Like I wanted to do some shopping. I wanted to go to Lululemon, go get some makeup, live my best life.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go into the city early, have my breakfast, get some acai, go back and go to the airport.
Yeah.
And I woke up, had the breakfast, and I actually couldn't keep my eyes open. Like I was literally walking around like this.
Yeah,
and
you
I
were
was like,
so tired when you
I
woke up.
was
I'm surprised you went in
exhausted.
for the acai because when you said it, I was like, she's so wrecked. How are you getting
To
in
be
there
fair
for
though,
it?
I did stay up till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, why? Why?
I'm.
Why?
I was texting someone.
Oh.
No,
Really?
not that someone.
Oh.
A different someone.
Different someone.
I sent out my close friend story.
Who's
So I
talking
had
about-
this song that I found on Instagram, like on repeat. Like there's a big TV in the hotel room, and
You
I
were
was
like
like,
crying yourself to sleep, to be fair. That's when you should have
I've had
been
an
like, there's
emotional
something
week.
not right here.
I thought it like my mom was like, oh, you're just sad after like your brother moving to Australia.
yeah.
Because my brother moved to Australia on Monday. We'll talk
I
about that in a minute.
know.
But so I was so emotional. Had this song on a loop on repeat, like not even like a loop. And I was like up so late texting this person, and like it wasn't. How do I tell the story without telling the story? So now I was up late texting someone, and I was bawling, crying. I was like, "What's wrong? Like what I'm talking about right now isn't emotional. I've no emotional ties to this person. Like
No.
it's not like that." Bawling, crying.
know.
And then the next morning I
I
got
would
my
be crying
period,
as
and
well, though.
it makes sense. It all made sense.
That was so me before I got mine. I was like, oh my God, like I'm so stressed out. I'm just so pissed off. And I was like crying. Like when I get angry, like I cry. And when I get stressed, I cry. Like if I'm upset, I cry. My whole, like when I'm happy, I cry. My emotional release
You're a
is I
cancer.
bawl my eyes out. And I kept crying and I was so angry and I was like, I'm just so frustrated. And I kept like crying. And it's so annoying because nobody takes you seriously when you're angry and you're crying. And they're like, oh, don't get upset. I'm like, oh, I'm actually furious right now. You've no idea.
Do you know why that is though?
Because I'm Cancer Moon.
No, well, that. And also, I went to a therapy retreat. I actually went to 2.
Oh, yeah. I saw you post about this before.
So, a big part of that therapy retreat is anger work, because women are always taught not to show anger
Oh, really?
healthily. So that's why we cry. Because crying isn't actually an emotional release of anger. You think
I do
it
get
is.
angry too, to be fair.
Yeah, you think... You're like, I have hit something.
No, I'd never hit anything, but I'm scary when I'm
Oh, no.
angry. The girls say they can feel it vibrating off me. I get so angry.
That's because you're an Aries and it's like that fire.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
So basically, in this therapy retreat, it was so cool. I was actually talking about this recently with the girls in Dublin.
Yeah.
So it's like this whole retreat, and it's the anger day. So first one of the girls, oh my
I
god,
love
it's
that.
so intense.
Do you
I've
break
never
stuff? Do you like, like they see online?
the
you write-
rage rooms.
Yeah, like the way you can write on a plate and like everything that's annoying you, and you just like break the plate. I really want to do one of those things.
It's similar. So basically, this first of all, someone does a speech. So this girl, like one of the leaders in the therapy retreat, she does a speech and she gets like more angry and more angry as she's saying, she's like, you're thinking of everyone who's done you wrong, like even if, you know, whatever. She was like, it doesn't leave this room. And then the woman who's hosting retreat is like on this balron.
Oh, that's really cool.
So
I love
she's
that
like, the music is like, like intense.
Yeah, it's like
feminine rage, right? So she's on this balron. I'd never experienced this in my entire life.
Yeah.
So one's on this balron, the other person's doing a speech. You're standing in this like big, massive circle room.
Unreal.
And everyone has a pillow.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you just scream into the pillow?
No. So you're in this big circle room, the speech is going, and then she's like they talk you through what to do, and then she's like, when I count to 3, like she's like, you're letting all of your anger out. So you're getting the pillow, you're hitting it off the floor, you're like attacking the floor with this pillow. So when it's starting, like people are like, you know, say you have a pillow and they're like lightly hitting like, oh yeah, I hate you, you know, it's really calm. Oh no, right? So they're going around then, all the people in the retreat, and they're like, their job is to get you angry, but they're like, don't fucking cry. Because
that's crazy.
You're like separating the two, right?
Oh my God, I'd be bawling till I'd be so angry. I can't separate the two.
No. I swear to God, I've never let the roar. I got whiplash.
Did you?
Because I let so much anger out of me. I literally,
I don't even know where that came from.
At one point, I was like attacking the floor with the pillow, and I just, like, a surge of energy like pushed me back, and I was literally, my eyes were like so wide, and I was just like this. Like I was...
Oh my God.
But then everyone around you is letting out anger as well. So then that makes you more angry, because you're like, all these women have... So many people can't express their anger.
Yeah.
So they're just like, can't even... Like, do you know, it's like, fuck you, like you're roaring. But some people can't even roar. And then that makes you more angry, because you're like, these people have been so hurt that they can't even like shout. Like, one girl was like,
I can feel the energy.
Oh my God, I'm actually really feeling the energy.
Really angry, yeah.
So after it then, so it goes on for, like, they don't, like it goes on, I'd say, for 45 minutes.
I could do that, I don't think.
Oh no.
I know it's good for you.
It's actually...
I know the release you get in the end, but I just couldn't even put myself through that.
Like,
I'm actually getting vexed even talking about this. We might need to change the subject. I can't even talk about
So anyway, we did that,
things.
and after we all like sit down, whatever, and I was literally on the chair like staring into space just like this.
Like,
and Shauna, one of the girls who I went with, was like, she kind of put her hand on me and she was like, are you alright? Like, and I was just like,
no.
And like she said, your eyes were just black. But then she said after, once you had like released all, she was like, your eyes were so clear. It was honestly one of the most life-changing things I've ever done in my entire life, and I would recommend to anyone. But anyways, crying, anger. Oh yeah, so emotional because of the period. Josh texted me this morning, right?
What did he say? I was waiting to hear.
So I've been so emotional with this period. Yeah. Like just bawling. Yeah. Anything. Drop of a hat.
That was me last week.
And that's not usually the journey that I'm... Well, actually, I don't really cry, but if I do cry, I'm on my period. Because now I've learned to express my anger, so I'm really good at, like, not angry crying, or trying not to. I, like, hit my pillow, scream into it. It's great.
Yeah.
But I texted Josh this morning because he uploaded a Be Real. And
I don't these use Be Real anymore.
I kind of got out of it for a while, but I still look at other people's. But he had these 2 little hoop earrings on. I actually need to get the messages. This is hilarious. So he had these 2 little hoop earrings on in his Be Real. So I texted him.
Screenshotted it.
I texted him and I goes, I'm obsessed with your hoops. And he was like, my earrings? I was like, yeah. He was like, love that. And I was like...
Bigger the hoop, bigger the hole, Josh.
And he was like, how did that fall into your head? And I was like, I saw your Be Real, love you, happy Sunday. And he texts back.
That's so cute.
He texts back and he was like, love you too, hot stuff. I bawled.
You are not okay at the moment, Rebecca. Like, what the heck? Let me do that some. He meant so much.
And I voice noted him and I was like, Josh, I'm bawling. He was like, that's not you. He was like, you usually get hyper on your period. Yeah. That set me off even more because...
Like, you were like, I know this isn't like me.
No, but I was like, I love how you remember that about me. That's so cute.
So I also did English in my degree. So
no, I actually think you're really good at communicating.
Do you?
Yeah, I think you're a really good communicator.
Thank you so much. I don't think I always was, but I think the older I got. You know, I listened to this thing one time and it was about this woman. I used to love politics, and there was this woman and she was from like north inner city Dublin, and she said that like she wanted to go to college like to speak the language that the politicians were speaking, because she found that they were very like flippant and very disregarding of like, you know, people from like you know, like communities that are disadvantaged and stuff, and she was like, I just want to speak the language that they're speaking so they can understand why I'm so furious.
Yes.
And that was something that kind of like clicked in my head, and I was like, I love that, like, you know, people will go out of their way. And then when she finally got to that position, and I'm pretty sure she's in is it the Senate or something now? And she's so good, but she speaks completely normal terms so other people who are listening to politics can understand, and that there isn't an area in society that's been left out. And I love that about like how people go about using their ability to communicate. Isn't that cool?
That kind of makes sense. That's so beautiful.
No, you're actually
no.
not okay.
I'm okay. I'm great.
I'm worried about you. You're this period straight and no kissing. She actually has tears in her eyes.
Between the blood that's coming out of me.
Becky, come here.
That was the worst hug in the world. I didn't hug you because I can't go there.
I feel so bad. Look at go into the let them see there's actual tears in her eyes. Like.
Do you know what? That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is lovely.
You're great.
Yeah. I'm not, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I just am kind of shocked. That's shock in my eyes.
No, like, honestly, I don't really cry often.
Yeah. This last week has done you now for the year, I think.
Do you know what? It really...
Maybe it's an energy release. Maybe it's something to do with the full moon
There's a full moon tomorrow.
Night. Was it last night?
No. Well, it looks full now, but it's not the official full moon yet.
I was like a baby last night, and I was like, I bet you that's full moon now. So I'm so relaxed.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just that you were feeling calm.
Maybe I'm feeling really calm at the moment now, which is so unlike me, because if anybody knows over what I've been feeling the last few weeks, I've been like a fucking demon, but I'm actually good now, thank God.
I don't know where you
Thank you, universe. I actually feel like I'm actually turning a corner massively. Yeah, I think the stress I was under has completely lifted, and I am. You ever see that that ad years ago for that chocolate bar? And it's like, you're not you when you're hungry. I'm not me when I'm stressed, and I'll tell you that for a fact. When I'm stressed out, I'm the worst version of myself, and I let things get on top of me. But I'm blaming the period for that as well. So this is.
Do you know what? Your cycle.
This is to the cycle and Mother Nature right now. You've a lot to answer for.
Do you know what though? That's why, right? So the days that we live, 24-hour days, are based on a man's biological clock.
Yeah, their whole cycle is in 1 hour.
Their cycle. They go through it all in an hour.
Jeez, that would be a fucking intense hour if they did it.
Yeah.
Why do I always say such stupid shit on this podcast?
I'm like, you're really good at communicating.
Oh, literally, I can't even live that down. Oh, never mind. Go on.
So theirs is a day, whereas ours is 28 days. So ours goes with the moon, and also our cycles link up with the moon then.
Crazy.
So you're supposed to be your best, most productive version of yourself the first 2 weeks of your cycle. So your follicular and your ovulatory.
Yeah.
Your period and your follicular, because that's when you ovulate, is supposed to be when you do, like, you schedule the most meetings, like, say you're going on the work trip now, that's actually perfectly aligning.
Yeah, perfect, thank God.
Whereas the last 2 weeks, you're luteal. So the last 2 weeks then is when you're not supposed to, like, because that's, if you do schedule too much, that's how you get overstressed then and overstimulated and and obviously most women don't have the privilege to kind of scheduling their life with their cycles, but like anything, like being more social is better, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You can tell it though in yourself, can't you, when you have it? Like,
when I'm ovulating, but obviously I wasn't ovulating when I thought I was ovulating. Maybe I was, because my period's 2 weeks early, so now I'm all off, because I'm usually so regular.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy though. And it's weird that like environmental factors, like, you know, can have an effect.
I have been flying a lot. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, maybe. And flying does kind of throw it off a small bit. Sometimes, like, it could literally be anything. It could be stress. It could be anything. Like, I think the reason why mine actually came on, because I'm on the IUD. Like, at the moment, I'm on the JDS. And I'm not supposed to get periods, really. But I think the only reason why I was brought on was, like, I was under an immense amount of stress.
That's not good.
Yeah, but I'm fine now. I'm actually good now.
I'm fine.
I actually even feel the energy in me is like so much better. Like, it's lighter. Like, what I was the last few weeks was like exorcist level, and I'm not at that level anymore, thank God.
The only time you were positive was doing the podcast.
And I said this to Rebecca, as the only break I have, and I thoroughly look forward to recording this podcast, because it's like I get a break from my brain, if that makes sense. But I got my Kindle
Tell me everything.
So, okay, this is my thinking about the Kindle, and I have a lot of people who are writing to me because they're actually book lovers as well. I'm a paperback girly. I will always be a paperback girly. Love the smell of a book, love the hold of a book. I love, like, and I know a lot of people are very particular about, like, don't bend the spine of a book, but I love bending the spine. I love underlining things I like. I like taking quotes out of it, and this is even, like, fiction. I just love books so much. But I read really, really fast, and like probably faster than most people. Like I can finish a book
speed read,
in like 2 hours, like really, really quick. And I find when I'm traveling, I always have to bring like 2 or 3 books. And if you're just bringing like your like onboard priority boarding kind of 10 kg case on, like slamming 3 books into that is like another outfit.
It's definitely
like
2 kg, like
could be, and it's just not worth it. So I was like, okay, for traveling, because I do travel a lot for work and I travel a lot in general, like why don't I just get a Kindle, because that'll be so much easier. I can have so many books and it's just so much lighter and everything. So I got it and I bought it, and it came on Thursday. I got the new like green one. It's so cute, and it's like paper white. It's so cool. And there was like the Kindle Stuff Your Books or something day on Friday, so I got a few free books, which was great.
Gorgeous.
And then I like downloaded like one of my first books on it just to kind of test out and see what it was like, and I found that I read like so much quicker. Now I did have a headache from it, because, and I'm gonna say it to everyone who's said to me, get a Kindle, get a Kindle, get a Kindle. It's not like reading a screen. It is like reading on a screen. I might as well have an iPad and be reading on the screen there. And what I love about the book is, like, I work with laptops and, like, on my phone all day. I need a break from the screen.
You need a non-screen.
I need non-screen. So it is like a screen, even if you can change the lighting, whatever. It's still a screen.
A screen is a screen.
Everyone's like, it's not. It's so different. No, it is. It's still a screen. So I still prefer my paperbacks, and I will still be purchasing paperbacks. But I think for traveling, like I'm going this week for work, that will be perfect because I can read on the plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love buying physical books because I'm an Audible girl, so I like listening.
Listening to them,
because
of course,
I think it really stimulates me if I'm trying to clean.
Yeah.
Like I have to be doing more than one thing at once.
I agree.
At all times.
Every now and then I'll like, because I don't like the non-fiction books, but when I listen to non-fiction, I listen to them Audible because I know that's the only way I'll take them in.
And if the author narrates it, it's so much better.
Yeah, like,
because they're connected to the story
and
they're telling.
Know what they're trying to convey. And
whereas if it's not the author, I don't tend to. But I'm an Audible girl, but I do love physical books because in my future villa in Spain or wherever You're
gonna be writing a book.
Well, not even writing, but I want a library.
Oh yeah,
so
I have saved them. I think what way I want my read, because when I build my own house in the future wherever I live, I want to have like a reading room and like all my books and like stacked. I'm so excited. Like when I think about, like, although I love my life and I'm not trying to rush my life, like when I just think about, like, you know, being married and having kids and having that like space to like have my books in my little sanctuary. It's like my man cave. That's what I want. My husband, whoever I end up marrying, he can have a man cave. He could go golfing whenever he wants, whatever. But I want that. That's my what is it?
That's your
non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. That's your boundary. Do you know what? I have a question off the back of that. Yeah. What do you think about having, if you get married, right? You're sharing a room. And I don't know about you, but my room is like,
my sanctuary.
I love my room.
I want 2 bedrooms for us.
Yeah, I think I like that idea too.
Yeah, I want 2 bedrooms, and I'd say,
I'd even go as far to say 3.
Really?
His, mine,
and
ours.
Yeah. See,
what house am I living in?
I think like boys don't really like pack out their room, so what I would do is I'd have my room and then like stay with him like maybe 3 or 4 nights a week, and then the rest of the nights I have it to myself because I get sick of them. I get sick of them. Like, I don't even like having people in my space too much anyway.
Like, I love my room.
Yeah, and it's like my relaxing place. I want.
Now, obviously, if you had like a woman cave, or a cave, or a sanctuary space, you maybe wouldn't need.
I wouldn't need it as much, but
maybe you could combine the two. Maybe your sanctuary, you could also have it like a bed in there.
Yeah, true.
Or like a pull-out situation.
True. Or like a really, like, what I'm envisioning is like a really like fluffy white couch and
like a love sack.
Yeah, like a love sack, but with like green in it, like, so like maybe some plants and like funky carpets and just like candles everywhere and like just books, crystals in the background. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so
we're both so single, but
I know. I love the way I'm like my husband, and I'm like
my husband.
There's not even a potential.
But then again, I feel like if you made someone your husband, maybe you would want to share a room with them all the time.
know.
Do you know what I mean? Even though I
don't wanna
think
get sick of
there's a
him,
nice
though.
to have a space of your own.
Yeah.
Especially maybe
Everyone I
if
talk to
he's
thinks
more
the same as us, though, you know.
Yeah, I think if he's more as well like a person who likes his space. Because it
Yes.
really depends on
Him as well.
him as well. But like I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with one of my
Yeah,
exes.
how did
and,
you
like,
find that? Because I've never lived with a boyfriend.
so I've only lived with one. And we lived in kind of different situations.
Yeah,
so like we lived.
You came here and you were over in Australia.
Yeah,
and
we
went
were
to
in
Brazil.
and we were in Thailand and we were in
Yeah.
Dubai. Yeah.
So you
over the
lived on
world.
top of
we
each
lived,
other, basically.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So as it happened, I was going home for Christmas and I needed a new place to live, and he also needed a new place to live. And when you're away like that, you do. I don't know what I recommend it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
And I think that was definitely part of like the journey and whatever. And we
Yeah,
ended
of
up living
course.
together in so many other different places anyway, because we were both from two different places in a
yeah.
different place. So I think it's very different. But we ended up anyway by default living together. Like it wasn't like a
Yeah.
big.
It
So
wasn't a really big thing.
it wasn't like a big like this is a big step in our relationship.
It was just kind of, it naturally progressed.
It just naturally progressed
Yeah.
that way. And when because we both went home for Christmas, so
Yeah.
I came back first and I had the apartment sorted, whatever. Such a nice room,
Yeah.
ensuite, but it was in a 3-bedroom apartment, and the woman who owned the apartment filled the other 2 rooms with couples also.
Oh.
So there was 6.
in one apartment.
There was 3 couples, 6 people in. Yeah, we were definitely. See, I worked at the time. I wasn't working for myself and from home.
Yeah.
So I was working.
In that salon, was it?
Like, yeah, I think it was Tuesday to Saturday, and he would be he'd be up really early because he was doing
Of
like
course,
construction,
yeah,
electrician, all that.
yeah.
So it was actually really nice because it was only kind of at the end of the day.
Yeah, so it was like
Joe-
you got to come together
Yeah.
at the end. You weren't on top of each other.
We weren't on top of each other, and then on days off we'd go on like adventures and drives, and like that was our
Lovely.
big thing. So that was perfect, even though living with 2 other couples was stressful, especially with the kitchen.
I can
Oh my
imagine.
God, when I wanted to cook food, and like one of the couples like had no awareness of like other people's boundaries.
Yeah.
So I'd be cooking, and next thing they'd come, the 2 of them, the couple, would come in next to me and start cooking and like hugging, and they were very affectionate, and I was like
give me a
aggressively
break.
like one day I was just starting to cook and they came in. I actually walked out of the kitchen, walked into the room, and was like, we're getting takeaway,
We're
we're
getting
going
out,
for
yeah.
dinner, like we're not. So that was fine. And then when I was in Brazil, we did Airbnbs
Okay.
because they were really like inexpensive in Brazil.
Yeah.
So we stayed in like class, like that was so fun because that was such an experience,
can
and like
imagine
I
that'd
had
be so
never
lovely.
experienced Brazil, and we still
Yeah.
had our own space, and like he would go meet his friends, and I'd have like my chill time watching YouTube and get
So
like
nice. You need that. That needs
yeah,
to be done.
like
yeah.
he was like, oh, I'm going out with the boys. I was like,
Yeah.
hasta la vista,
I was
enjoy.
actually out of curiosity because I know that you said before that you'd go back to Australia, and I know before you were thinking about going to Canada. Do you think you'd ever go to Canada at all, or no?
No.
No, you've no interest.
Hard.
Really?
I don't think I never had a draw to Canada. The only
Yeah.
reason I ever had a draw to Canada was because of a
Because
person.
your ex, yeah.
Um,
Although Toronto, I feel like Toronto's very city. Like
I
was just
did
saying to the
visit
girls,
Toronto.
What did you make of it? You're not too gone on it.
Well, also my experience there wasn't.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ex.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I wouldn't like. I don't think I'm a Vancouver girl either.
I'm not a Vancouver girlie. I'm a city girl. You know, I'm a city girl. I only live in
Also,
cities.
Yeah,
like,
and I
yeah.
think getting the Canadian visa is quite difficult. So,
Is it now? Before it used to be easier.
well, like Australia is simple. Like Australia is like, I wasn't even planning, and I applied, and like 10 minutes later, I got it.
I'd love to be able to get an American
Yeah.
visa so bad, but it's impossible to get.
Do you know what? You could get an O1 maybe one day, because an O1 is like a special.
What's an O1?
An O1 visa is like that you're there because you have something special. Like it's what all the like celebrities
Celebrity.
get, and
I
like
always
artists
wonder how they
and
get in there.
creatives.
The O1.
Yeah, it's the O1
Well, look,
visa.
we just gotta hope. I'm
You
pretty
never know.
good, guys, because I really want to live in
or you
Boston.
could just marry an American man.
No, I wouldn't marry for a visa.
I know, but you'd not marry for a visa, but you could just
I know.
happen.
I know, but I don't think I could do that. Like, I think that like I just want to go there on my own
Do your own
accord.
thing.
Yeah.
But, okay, unless you.
No, I've looked into it. It's actually fucking impossible. There's
O1,
there's one
you need
way,
to-
and it's the L1A visa, and even at that, I have to try find somebody over in America that it's a long story.
Well, if you started. Yeah, so basically. Maybe, Joe, what, if this podcast gets big enough and we have a big enough American
God.
audience, maybe we could get the O1
Guys,
visas.
please give us the O1 visas. I want to go to the States.
Please. Overall, I found living with a boyfriend good because of the person that I live with, and I think communication.
Yeah, the communication.
But I think
is so
at
key.
times it's an interesting journey.
Yeah.
Life
Life is a highway.
Life is a highway. I'm going to ride it all night long.
How are you feeling?
Not great, to be honest.
No bueno. But you're doing so good, Rebecca. You're doing so good.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. You're just talking about Thailand for 47 minutes.
You're doing, honestly, you're doing so good. For a period. I did worse. Okay. You've got this.
Right, okay. I am actually excited to ask you this, and
I'm
tinfoil
nervous.
hats on. Is Michael Jackson still alive?
No. But I think Tupac is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain.
Okay, so basically, I think that Tupac is still alive. I don't know. Like, I just feel like I watched this thing ages ago, and I think that he's still alive, and I think Jeff Bezos is still alive.
Jeff Bezos is
Not Jeff Bezos. Who's that guy? Jeffrey Epstein. You can see the J's, how I got confused. Jeffrey Epstein's
You
still
love a
alive.
good J name.
Not Jeffrey Epstein anyway, that's for sure. But anyway, Jeffrey Epstein's still alive, and so is Tupac, and that's my... I don't.
You will die on that hill.
I'll die on that hill, but Michael Jackson is dead. Do you think Michael Jackson's alive?
I think Michael Jackson's dead.
Yeah.
I remember where I was. Do you remember where you were when you found out?
So random. That's like somebody asking, I remember where I was when 9/11.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember where I was when
I
Michael
actually
Jackson
don't
died.
remember where I was in 9/11.
We were,
but
we were inside school. Mom said that she brought us home. That's actually so
I was
sad.
in Spain.
You were on
And see, it was all over the news, like everywhere.
So sad. I remember things like that, but not Michael Jackson dying. I didn't really care about him, no offense. I know he's the king of whatever.
He was iconic.
Oh, his music was amazing,
But like
I
he
was
was
too
so,
young. Like.
it's like Beyonce dying now. Like.
I know. See, that I'd have more of an effect on me. Michael Jackson, not
That's
so
true.
much.
Imagine when like Kim Kardashian dies.
No, don't. Let's not put that into the universe. You
Okay.
in this period, you're scaring me.
Do you have any piercings?
Do I have any piercings? Just my ears. I actually ended up getting... I have a really funny story about this. I thought I was like going to be really cool and get my ears like triple pierced last year in Manchester. So I actually went and got them done, and I went to this really, really expensive place to get them done. And I got them pierced like here and here. So it was like 3 hoops I wanted going up along. And anyway, I got them pierced, and honestly, they just would not heal. It was like 20 weeks, and like they were so uncomfortable. The earrings, even though they were like proper metal, broke apart. Like I paid £200 to get them done, so they were done in proper metal. Like I got them done in Selfridges in Manchester in the Trafford Centre. Yeah, all of them broke apart, and then the hoops were put in so badly. I actually had to go to a jeweller's and get them cut out of my ears because they kept swelling because they were done so badly. So yeah, I've just my earrings, and I'll never get another piercing after that because I just find they're...
So is it only your ears you've ever had pierced?
Yeah, only my ears. What about you?
I went through a piercing era.
Oh, you did actually.
I did.
You've a belly button pierced and all.
I got my ears pierced first when I was my nan was a jeweler.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, so my mom actually was not happy about this. My mom was on holidays in Spain, and we were up in Galway, and I actually remember it like at the kitchen table in their house.
And she did it.
She pierced my ears.
Oh, that's
I was like
so
8. It's such a lovely
cute.
memory. Mom wasn't happy though. And then I got my older cousin who, like, Joe, when you're younger and you're obsessed with your older cousin, you're like, I just want to be
she's so
you.
cool.
Like, I literally
yeah.
picked her name as my
Did
confirmation.
you? That's so funny. Little mini me, like.
Oh, I was obsessed. So she got her belly button pierced, and then
So you wanted to
I
get
wanted, and my mom was like, when you're
It's like,
13.
what's that thing in Mean Girls? And she's like,
She wore
Regina-
green armor pants and flip
so
flops.
I wore. That's you getting the belly button pierced.
Belly button piercing. Then I got my tragus pierced.
Oh my god, was that sore?
You could like hear the
It
cartilage.
crunched.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Do you know what?
I
I
would be
will
able to
die on
do
the
that.
hill that your earlobes are one of the sorest piercings.
Yeah,
I got my tongue
100%.
pierced when I was 18.
What?
Yeah, I was like, I want to get my tongue pierced, and my mom was like,
I can't believe you got your tongue pierced.
my mom
What
was
the
like,
fuck?
you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. I think Josh got his pierced.
He did get his.
I don't know
pierced.
who got
Did you
it
get- when
done
did you
first,
take it
me or
out?
him. When did I take it out? I don't know. I had it for a few years. I would like re-pierce it sometimes.
Was it sore getting it done?
Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see? There's
Yeah,
like in
I'm
my,
very
in the middle
bad
of my
at
tongue.
for a girl who's so covered in tattoos. I'm actually really, really bad at piercings.
Really?
And the girl I was getting the piercings off of, like, I actually went like white when she was piercing my ears, and she said it's so funny. People are either
Tattoo or
like
piercing
tattoo or
people.
piercings, and if they're both, like, they'll always say that like the piercings are sore than the tattoos.
I thought my piercings were more painful than my tattoo.
Yeah, no, I love getting tattoos. I think it's so therapeutic, but I can't. I'm a tattoo girly. I'm not a.
I had my nose pierced as well.
Really? You were covered in metal.
But I think that
You going through a metal detector in the airport.
actually when I was going through, my belly button thing went off, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I have a belly button piercing." She was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I took out the tongue piercing because I noticed it chipped my tooth a little.
Oh no. No.
But I had my tongue pierced. I had like a diamond spark. It was kind of cute.
Don't bring that back.
I think no.
It's like because I know you. You might. I know your brain will be like, maybe I'll bring that back.
Maybe I want to go. No, I don't. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It wasn't sore though. I thought it would be so
Really?
sore.
Do you
And I
remember
think
when people used to get the back of their necks pierced?
that was such
a
weird
random
trend.
time. Random
Why
time.
do people do that?
I don't know, but
Josh did it, did he?
Yeah, Josh had, I'd say, most piercings as well. I feel like we talk about Josh all the time.
We do.
We need to get
Josh
him
is
on for an
our
episode.
mutual ex.
We need, yeah,
and best
he's-
friend.
Yeah, and he doesn't like women anymore.
No.
So that goes
So
to
we-
show.
we really
flipped him.
bond.
We flipped him. But he's our best friend. I
He had
love
to
him.
deal with us, and he was like, absolutely
I
not.
actually was like, if this is what women are like, I'm out of here. But I absolutely love him my whole life. We should get him on one day.
We should
so
get him
just so-
on.
'cause
I don't
feel
know,
like-
would he? But
Yeah, but it would be funny.
it would be funny. So piercings.
Yeah.
I want to get more tattoos actually.
Oh my god, I'll go with you. Yeah, we should get a cherry.
I want to get like I like this. Like this is speaking of Thailand.
When I seen that tattoo on your wrist one day, I was like, I did not know that she was a tattoo.
I got it
lady.
in. So me and my ex kind of have matching tattoos, but they're not matching. But we got them done at the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
So-
You went. It was a date. I'd
Where-
love to go on a date with a boy and we both get tattoos.
Yeah, we both got tattoos.
I love that.
It was
That's
really
so
cute.
romantic. What was it? This
So
one?
these are like Thai. So they're bamboo tattoos.
Oh,
It's a
they're
bam-
sore as well.
I didn't think that this was.
Yeah,
well,
but
bits
they are
were,
sore.
But that's why, like, I would have liked it ideally a lot thinner. But,
Yeah, but it
with
has
the
to be
bamboo,
thicker.
it can't.
I knew someone who went to Thailand and they got one all down their spine. I was like, and it was their first tattoo.
It's
I was like,
so. I still
oh.
follow the girl who does it. She's like on an island. She's so good. Like,
So good.
But yeah, that was my
Yeah.
first and only tattoo. But I want to get more. I want to do the whole arm,
Yeah, like this.
like the
Little-
patchwork
The
kind of.
patchwork that I'm starting.
But see, I'm
I
very
thought my
freckly.
arms kind of.
But I'm
thing.
freckly, like.
So the tattoos, it doesn't matter. Look cooler with freckles. I love freckles on people. Like, I think
Yeah.
they're so cool, especially when you've tattoos and there's freckles and you've a patchwork. That's the coolest. Are you joking? That's the
Yeah,
coolest thing
I
ever.
do want to get more actually, to be
Yeah.
honest. But I only have one for now. Spill the tea on your first kiss.
Oh my god, mine's actually hilarious.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually really funny. So one of my friends, well, actually there was a few of our friends. So we were in like first year, and one thing about me is I will always lead in the world with blind confidence and pretend that I know I'm doing something even when I'm not 100% confident. Like, I will take imposter syndrome, I'll grab the bull by the horns
Yeah.
and I will run with it.
Yeah.
So I'd never ever kissed a boy. And we had like kind of like, you know, when you're kind of at that thing, you kind of go into first year, you're texting boys or whatever. And we went to the cinema to see a movie, and we had all sat next. I'd made like one of my friends sit next to another one of my friends. It was like girl boy and then girl boy and then it was like girl boy. So I was on the very corner with my boyfriend, who, like, you know, like they text you and they're like, you start texting, they're like, hey, and you're like, hey, and you text for a day and they're like, will you be my girlfriend over text message? And you're like, yeah. And
Yeah.
then it's like XXX Eiley, like, do you know, Eiley,
X,
why?
X, 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 X,
Love
X,
you
X,
so
X.
much.
TB.
So we were at the cinema and like, I was trying to like encourage my friend to the left of me. We were only talking about this recently, to like shift him, but it was her first shift, but it was also my first shift, but nobody knew this.
So you pretended.
I just blind led with confidence. I was like, oh my god, just shift him, it's not a big deal. And she was like, you do it so, and I was like, fine. And I just turned around and I leaned in and I started shifting him.
Who was it? Bleep the name.
You actually wouldn't even know him. I don't think I know his name. I bleep this out.
No idea who that
years
man
ago.
is.
Yeah, so I like blindly like.
And did she shift him then?
Yeah, she shifted the guy next to me then, and I remember like being like you know the way at the time you used to have to your hands over them, and I remember
In
at the
the
time
cinema?
the adrenaline rush I had like running through my body. I was like, oh my god, I'm actually kissing someone. I'm actually kissing someone, and that was my first. And I remember like walking out being like, oh my god, like I'm not a frigid anymore.
A frigid. That word is so funny to me.
I know, I love the way you're like, yeah, you're frigid. And they're like, no, I swear you should
No,
be
on
in
holidays.
Spain. What was your first one? I feel like yours was out in the mobile home.
It was.
I knew
in the dunes.
In the dunes.
In the dunes. It was actually the guy I had a major crush on. His friend. His like
the guy I had a major crush on. It was his friend.
Yeah. And I think, it wasn't a great time. I think I just did it to like
do it.
Yeah.
It was like rip the bandage off. I felt like that was the same with me because everyone was shifting and I felt left out.
Introvert or extrovert?
I'm an introvert, but I'm extrovert when it comes to like certain things. Like, but I am so introverted. Like, I'd rather go home and read a book and be on my own and watch TV.
Extroverted introvert. You
Yeah,
can
that's
talk
me.
to people if
I have to.
or if you want to.
Yeah.
But you need a load in time.
I need alone time.
I think we're the same like that.
Yeah, we are. We're very similar in that way.
Very like.
Yeah.
If you met me, you'd think I was an extrovert.
Yeah, and I think people mistake that about you all the time.
Oh,
when they think you are.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, people think that you're like 24/7, but you're not, and I know that. I know she's not. She just like
that's how I do it. Like, I couldn't function. Who was the last person you messaged?
I'm pretty sure it was you when I was collecting you, but before that, my brother, Love Island. He would text me saying, you up to date in Love Island? And I said, yeah, we were just talking about what happened. Yeah, it was my brother. Because I'm sitting outside your house.
But I've seen the...
It looks so good. Who was the last person you messaged?
Technically, it actually was you.
Yeah, but before... Because mine was technically you, but before that...
Before that...
Actually, that's a lie. Because then you messaged somebody in the car coming up. Caught you.
I did, yeah.
Bob Ross.
Yeah.
It was Bob Ross.
What? Are you a backseat driver? What type of question is that?
Backseat drivers. If you're like in the car, you're a passenger. Now you're not because you don't know how to drive. But I know.
I do know how to drive. Okay. I drove when I was 17.
Okay, but you know when you're in the car and somebody's like, slow down, or like, and they're telling the driver how to drive.
The only thing I get angry at is if I'm in the front seat and someone's driving so slow.
I know, that's so painful.
And you're like imaginarily like putting your foot in the gas.
Yeah, and my mom like, she doesn't, I know mom watches all the episodes, so she's gonna be like, I don't do that, but like not with me, but like say if my dad's driving, she like hold on to the thing, you know, that thing, and like be like, you know, that's kind of like
my mom used to do that when I was driving. Maybe that's why I don't drive.
Maybe.
Niamh, this one is specifically for you.
I'm nervous.
Why do you think the earth is flat?
Okay, can I just actually clear the air on this a small bit, right? I don't think the earth is flat. What I did was, Rebecca explained it perfectly. Instead of cutting the world diagonally like across, I cut it vertically down. So in my brain, like, instead of like there being loads of landmass in the middle and snow, what I did was there was whole snow on the other side and all the landmass on the other side. So I did it vertical.
She just flipped the world on its head.
Flipped the world, like... So I did it vertical, not land. I'm not a flat earther. I need to
be
clear
fair,
my
though,
name.
I did like verbatim say like Niamh's a flat earther.
Yeah,
so maybe
I know. Maybe that's why.
My problem.
But I'm not a flat earther. I just confuse. I get confused sometimes, guys. It's the bleach. It's all the bleach seeping into my brain.
What do you think about politics? It's a very broad question.
It's a very broad question. I actually initially, the other podcast I have was supposed to be a politics podcast. Because because I wanted people our age to kind of get more involved, and I thought that like, you know, people couldn't really understand what was going on. Back to the thing about what that woman had said about, you know, not speaking the language, so they're kind of shut out from understanding what's going on with politics. So initially I wanted to, but then I ended up just realising there was a massive gap as well, and people who badly were like getting stuck with the whole pandemic unemployment kind of thing, and I just wanted to help people with that. But so I follow politics. I think at the moment it's a joke. I just think I try not pay too much attention, but I think that everybody should go out and vote. I don't think, you know, you need to vote for whoever your parents vote for. I don't think you need to do any of that. There's actually like a thing where you can take a test online and you can see where your beliefs and what like your values are match up with a certain, you know, party. I know mine lines up with the Social Democrats. I wish they ran more electives than the last one, but I definitely think it's something that like people our age should get more involved with. I think that everybody should basically figure out what party that they align themselves with more and vote in the next election, or else we're going to keep getting stuck with who we're stuck with, because if you don't go out and vote, that's what happens.
I think politics as a whole, no matter what country you're in, there's always going to be positives and negatives.
Yeah, for sure.
But
and I think that you need a mix of both. I don't think you can be too left.
Yeah.
I don't think you can be too right. It has to be moderately in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think where people are like confusing moderate is they're looking at the likes of what we have at the moment with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and thinking that they're moderate. They're not. They're more right than they are left. But you need both, because you need the economy to keep sustaining, and that's what like people that are in the moderate kind of do. But you need to also take care of the people as well, which I don't find.
In my opinion, the people we have in power, who have technically been in power for the last God only knows how long,
20 years
have done a really good job at convincing Irish people to be in a lack mindset and to be 100%. In a like, we're poor, we're impoverished, we like there's not a lot of money there, we're not thriving as an economy. Like they really have done a fantastic job, and like that's not really the reality.
No, sorry. What's your thoughts on the whole Ryan Tubridy thing? Because talk about politics, there's politics and everything.
Okay.
Like Ryan Tubridy.
So, first of all, like those jobs are paid like that.
They are.
And this actually circles back to.
But I also think when it's coming out of the public purse.
Yeah.
That's where.
So those jobs, like all creative and media jobs, like at a high level,
are paid quite high.
Are paid.
And that's a known thing.
Like like very, very high. And I think that kind of circles back to, you know, our government being really successful at convincing us that there's not a lot of money in the pot.
Yeah.
There's not enough to go around. XYZ, yada, yada, yada. But what I disagree with is the fact that he's being paid by, what is it, taxes or...
Yeah. It's what we're paying.
Yeah.
Because they're...
for the license, the TV license.
For the TV license. So that's coming from the public purse. So it's like... They'll make sure that everyone has their TV license. You have to pay so much, whatever. And then, do you know what? Actually, I found, because there was an amazing woman, Imelda, who was on the Public Accounts Committee, and she was calling them out and was just like, you know, you're always crying poverty in RTER. They're always saying, remember, they're always doing raising, being like, we don't have enough money.
Yeah.
But it's like, when you look into what they were spending the money on, it's like, how dare you? Like, so I get that 100%. And I think, I do think they're high paying jobs, but I think the fact he was getting a backhander and it was caught by an audit. Do you know what I mean? That's where I'm just kind of like... And
I think, you know, when it comes to those things, a lot of people are going to pile on for the right reasons and
the wrong reasons. Sometimes people love giving out as well, I
do think that that's the tip of the iceberg. Like there's a lot
more coming.
Bigger fish to fry.
I love it. That's my thing at the moment, where I'm literally like, I'm like paying attention to
especially with like the astrology at the moment. Like they're like 7 planets are going to be in retrograde this summer. Really? So there's a lot of like revisiting happening and a lot of things coming to the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your last played song on Spotify? I know what it is. It's that one that at the moment you're...
probably the Saint Laurent one, actually.
Yeah.
Because we were just playing it.
Oh, yeah.
It's called FaceTime by Saint Laurent, and I love it. And I love Saint Laurent and all his music, but it is that. Thank God, because it could have been something else.
Mine's Francesca by Hosier. I just opened it up. I went to see Hosier on Tuesday. He was so good.
Sorry, I've no news. I did nothing all the week.
But I literally just went to that concert.
Yeah,
but I didn't drink it or anything. I drove, but it was
matter.
really, really good. Yeah, we went to the concert, and oh my God, he puts on some production, like, and it was jam packed. It was great to see that level. Yeah, and as the crowd, I'd swear at Hosier were louder than SZA. Like, I couldn't get over the level of like everyone was so delighted to be there, and that's why I think more artists should bring things. It's so good. But we were standing next to like these young girls who obviously was like probably their first night drinking ever, and they were banging into everyone, and it was so funny. Like this like older woman like tapped the girl on the shoulder and was like, "Girls, if you don't stop banging into everyone, like people are gonna start hitting you." And I was laughing. I was like, "Oh my God, thank God!" Like she kind of tried to call them, but like elbowing, like hitting everyone and stuff, like the way they're swaying. But I was like, God bless them. It was probably their first night drinking.
The amount of concerts that we went to the Script in INEC, and
and Shane Ward I seen
on one.
I saw a picture of this there.
I didn't. I think
they're good.
I think it was only.
I want to go see the Wolf Tones there now soon.
that would be fun.
That would be good crack. What is your favourite sex position? Was one of them. Honestly, I don't have one, and I'm going to be brutally honest. Like, I'm like the local Virgin Mary. Like, I'm in my celibate era, so I don't.
We're both in our celibate era.
We really are. So I think you're asking
you know
the wrong
and I
person
think
for this.
Instead of answering that question, like,
yeah,
I think sex is energy, and like you have to be very careful who you exchange
you give your energy
with.
too. Yes.
And if like that being that close with someone and having
someone,
them inside of you,
literally,
is a big, like, you're taking on a lot of their energy.
Yeah, and like I do think it attaches, that like their energy attaches to you, like,
it
good
does.
and bad. So that's why, like, I find like that, you know, when you don't have it like for like maybe like a year or two, or some girls like 2 years, it goes, you can go into this like really like clear mindset, and like I just find that it's really, really good. And like I find that when you're in your own energy, a lot of the times like you get a lot of things done. But I honestly, it's been forever and a day. I can't even tell you, to be honest. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. We are both in our celibate
but
era.
when I am not in my celibate era, I'm thriving. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know you can do both. Like, I'm just
no, but like I would rather be in my celibate era than like be hooking up and like taking on all these like, and also like stuff, people are icky. You'd never know what
you don't know where they've been and stuff. Whatever, what their energy, you know. Please give me pickup lines that always work. I love these.
I think pickup lines are very subjective to the energy.
Yeah.
Like, I think 2 men could send me the same message, and depending on the day, how I'm feeling,
I agree.
when I see the message, I could respond to one, and I could, like, I know you're more of a, like, you entertain. Yeah. Just for like the bit of it all.
For the plot.
For the plot.
I do for the storylines.
But I do think, like, I do think, I remember actually one of my exes on Tinder, he was like, girl, you are so fine. I would marry your brother just to get into your family.
That's good.
But he forgot the word get, so it was into. And then I was like, that would have been good if you didn't miss. And then it was like
there was one guy and he had...
So if you like mess up the pickup line, it's kind of fun, because then the other person can correct you and you can like create banter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you put in a little typo.
I don't know what there has been a few that I've been like, that was actually so smooth to certain guys, but like, I think the best one was that guy that when I was working, we were working in the same building, and he wrote to me on IM being like, so you do work here? I thought that was very funny. But
I liked What's Go Shawty.
What's good, Shawty? What's good, Shawty? It's me, the light-skinned boy from NYC. My name is Shane. How are you? I've been memorized in my head. The one I hate, I'm going to say, and don't do it, is, I'm going to contact Spotify because you're the hottest single or whatever. Do you ever get that?
I thankfully have not been subjected to many... Pickup. I don't know, should you use a pickup line?
I think
I just think
sometimes when they're really funny and they come in. I saw actually one guy that I know, like, it wasn't to me, but I know him, and it ended up on one of those meme pages. He sent this girl like a number, and she goes, did you just send me a chiropractor's number? And he goes, yeah, you're gonna need it when I break your back this weekend. I was like, oh my god,
I love that.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I ended up on the meme pages, and I was like, this is you. And he was like, I know. I was like, that's crazy. Like, that's funny.
A choice.
I was tagging everyone in it, like, being like, oh my god, that's so
that's
funny.
But I think if you have one that you use, like, I think you should use different ones all the time. Like,
yeah, and on
look at their energy, like wherever it is, where it's like their TikTok, their Instagram, a dating app, like, and kind of tailor it to them.
For sure. I think
for sure,
Shawty.
For sure, let's go.
What's your favorite daily, weekly rituals?
Oh my god, this is great because I'm such a self-care girl.
Yeah, she is.
I could write a book.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with daily.
This is daily. The rest of
this is feels like
strap in, but get your popcorn. This is gonna be long. Okay, daily.
Daily. Hot girl walk.
Yeah, you love your hot girl walk.
I love a hot girl walk. Just to think, I either respond to voice notes, I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I go on a silent hot girl walk, where like for creativity.
I love doing that for a walk. Flowing. If you have a declutter from listening to anything and just walk and listen to nature, you think more. Yeah,
and you come up with some. It's like being in the shower. Great ideas. So hot girl walks, non-negotiable. Skincare routine, morning and evening. I don't care if I'm leaving the house, not leaving the house. I do my full morning, full evening every single day.
Your skin is glowing, though, to be fair.
Thank you.
Look at it, like.
I had acne since I was age 11, so I was
So you really look
through
after
the
it.
ringer. Daily rituals. What else do I do? I don't journal every day per se, but I always have a little bit of a spiritual energy moment, whether that's picking up a crystal for the day, carrying it around with me, putting on my crystal rings, doing some incense, like journaling a bit, manifesting. Before I go to sleep, I like close my eyes and visualize everything I want in my life.
Love that, yeah.
And what else? Daily rituals. I think that's it. And also always stay hydrated. I don't like to put myself under pressure with rituals though, and like routine. Like this
every
is
day
my
I
morning
have to
routine.
Strictly, yeah.
That's not how I thrive. And I think some people, like some days you want more rest.
Yeah, some days the body will tell you what it wants.
Like some days I don't
to it.
wash my face.
Of course. That shocks me because you are such a skin
I do
girl.
it most days, but like if I'm going through it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I feel like everyone's like the period times. That's when you shouldn't.
But I try to just have daily rituals that I just try to kind of feel out my energy and see
what your body needs. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
What about you? That's my daily.
So I haven't had any rituals for the last month because I've been so crazy at work. But when I do have the time, I love getting up early and going to the gym before work if my body is okay that day to do it, because I find that it really sets me up good for work that day and my brain thinks better. So then I'll work earlier in the day and I might finish earlier, but I like sometimes I like doing the deep clean in my room and kind of sorting out my space.
Sunday reset.
But I also like having my alone time to read, because that's when my brain really, really switches off.
You do that every day,
and I need to do that for myself every day. And I feel like getting back into reading again is really what's brought me back down to earth. Like I really,
it's like a meditation.
It is like a meditation. I love it. And I also meditate on top of that. I think it's so good for your brain. And I just like looking at like things that like give me kind of thing, like so if I'm on Pinterest and I'm like, oh, I'd love to do my room this way or something, and I kind of visualize, and that kind of like gives me, so that's my kind of daily routine. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so shit with skincare. I will
your skin is unreal though. I was thinking about that when I was editing the podcast. I was like, Niv had this like perfect baby skin canvas. You've always had it. You've always actually like.
I don't know. I honestly don't know why.
Pores, like.
I don't know why it's like that. I feel like I do have pores, but like. I've never really looked after it. I used to fall asleep with my makeup on.
You're just one of those girls that didn't have to.
But you know what? I found every time I started looking after my skin got worse. So I think my skin's just used to.
So you have to be so careful, because some products like will
suit you.
They'll disrupt your barrier.
Yeah. So when I do use like CeraVe with
CeraVe's gorgeous.
Yeah, and I'll use a good moisturizer, and I use SPF every day underneath my foundation. That's what I do. But that's my kind of thing. Oh, and I love having a cup of peppermint tea or green tea. That's
and you can try the raspberry one.
I know, and she gave me the raspberry one because it helps with your
cramps. Yeah.
So little queen here, thank you, appreciate you. Yeah. That's so good. They're lovely. Yeah. I'm trying to think, do you have any more?
Weekly rituals.
Oh yeah, weekly rituals. That's my whole weekly. Sunday
reset's like a non-negotiable for me. Also, I don't like to really do too much work on Mondays. Yeah. Just the rebel in me.
That's good.
The anti authority.
I'm like that with Fridays.
Yeah.
I'll switch off at 3 p.m. on a Friday, give myself an early finish.
Like last night I was working Saturday night. I have no problem doing that, but like on a Monday. And weekly,
so
what else?
Your
the
Sunday's
astrology.
Kind of like your Saturday then, I suppose. Yeah.
And then my
astrology.
I love doing I do my weekly reading, see what's coming up in the week, and like every single day, like see what's going on with the planets, how it's affecting me. Cool. You know, because a lot of the times maybe something will be like you'll be more stressed because of this, you'll be more anxious.
That makes so much sense. Like I actually, when I was in Salem in Boston, I got this like candle and a crystal and some sage and a scroll that you burn the candle when a new moon comes for something. So I must do that now that the new moon's here, because I had to wait for the new one. Or is it full moon? Oh, it's
full moon, right?
The new moon are different.
The full moon ritual. Okay. Now, when people are listening to this, it'll be like 3 days after the full moon, but the energy's still kind of strong, so you can still do it.
Yeah.
Once the intention's there.
You write it down, put it out underneath the thing. Is it your intentions?
You can do whatever you want, but so new moon's for intentions and like manifesting. Full moon is like closing. So you want to write like what you're leaving in the moon cycle and like what doors you're closing, what chapters you're ending. I like to have a full moon shower, like, and let the water like like envision the water washing off
Everything.
all the bad juju,
Mhm.
like keeping the good. Obviously, we always
Yeah.
keep the good. And then treasure crystals if you have any.
Yeah, I do
Mhm.
have crystals. I need to use them a bit more. I don't actually use them.
I just wear them.
What was your favourite subject in school?
I loved English.
I loved English as well. I actually studied it then when I went
English
to college.
was my
I loved it
fave.
so much. English I did was like modernism, postmodernism, like Tudor Stuart's text and context, like old English. Like
love
English
that.
that wasn't even like English, it's like English from the 1600s and stuff that you'd
That's
have to study. It was
cool.
so cool. And like then we did like literature and like I actually didn't like the media and journalism, but the older like actual literature, like all that kind of areas that I thought that I wouldn't like Shakespearean comedies, all of this. Loved them, but then the things I thought I'd like that are like new age, I didn't like them at all. I think it's just because I'm such a like
I feel like you're an
really
old soul.
I feel like I'm an old soul as well.
I need to look at your birth chart again.
Yeah,
and
I should be
see
voice
what's
noting me
going on there.
later.
Like,
Niv,
this is why you're an old soul.
This is what's up. Yeah, so that's all our questions.
I actually need to do my friend's crushes or the guy she's seeing his birth chart.
I know. I'd love to figure out. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna ask.
You should.
I'm gonna ask him what his
Time.
I feel like he's too deep anyway now. He's gonna give it to me.
Yeah. Do you know what? Now's a perfect time.
Now's the perfect time to ask.
Because you're kind of pulling away a bit. So it's like, now you can
we can cut the
hook, line and sinker.
We'll pull the pulling away. But
no, I think knowing someone's birth chart is good to give you information about them.
I think for sure. Yeah, I think it's really, really good.
It's a tool.
It is a tool that should be used.
I like the vibes of today's podcast.
Yeah, it wasn't as chaotic as last week's
Well, the start was kind of chaotic with my... Yeah, and I do you know what? I just need to put a disclaimer. When I'm editing this podcast, I'm not editing me. I disassociate from who I am and all my stories.
Yeah.
And I leave it in for you.
Yeah. It was me. There was a certain part we had to take out about me last week. I was
and we took another part out that I kind of want to talk about at a different time.
Yeah, so that we actually do have a good story, but when we say for the plot, we need to let that plot build.
It needs let the plot thicken and see what happens.
Because I feel like that would be a whole story time for the one episode.
Yeah, if it goes a certain way.
Yeah, and if it goes another way, you'll have to wait a small bit longer. But if not,
yeah. But I like to leave stuff in because I'm relatable, you know.
Yeah,
relatable queen. But
I'm just shy, but I will open up a bit more.
Yeah, actually, do you know what? I really want to preface. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, because you know I'm so.
Because I'm used to putting myself on the internet for years, so I very much so disassociate from that. It's me.
Thanks.
But you're doing really well.
Thank you so much. I'm trying.
You're
I'm just so shy. I think that's the avoidant in me. I'm such like a closed book that I find it really hard to let parts of myself out to people. So maybe with this podcast, that might be the shadow work. I need to get that out of me by talking about myself a bit more.
And you know what? We can always edit things out. That's the good part.
Yeah, it is. But we're getting better. Like last week, it wasn't about me. It was about that story time I did.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, no, I think it's good, and I think we're doing really well. Thanks to everyone for we were going through the analytics, like
they're really good, and we're really happy.
We're really delighted. Like all the Spotify girlies.
The Spotify girlies are coming. Because all I could see from the side was YouTube, but when we looked at Spotify today, girlies, ye are coming through. Thank you so much.
We're so great. Like the reviews, people listening, people sharing on their stories,
telling us that you're enjoying it. Like we really appreciate that. So thank you.
We're really grateful.
So much.
And I think the first month, we've our first month down now. We've our first month done, and I think the second month is where like I want to get the ball
rolling.
I want to get the ball rolling on a few things.
Yes, I agree. There's a few things we have in our mind.
Watch this space.
Thank you so much for listening.
Hasta la vista, bitches.
Adios.
Ciao. Cheers.
I have nothing here.
Cheers.